Good morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ramadan Kareem. I'm Abhi Janamanchi. My pronouns are he and him. And welcome to Cedar Lane Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I am dressed in a red vest and a black shirt. And the vest has a chalice pin with world religions on it. And welcome to our worship service this morning.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Ali Casey Bell. My pronouns are he, they, and Reverend Ali. I am a dark-skinned Black man. I am dressed in a dark blue dashiki with gold and black diamonds on it with red and green horizontal lines and a low, very, very low cropped haircut. And I am smiling and so happy to see you today. Happy to be here with you. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your beliefs, sexual identity, orientation and gender identity, documentation status and disability, and wherever you are joining us from, you are welcome to bring your whole self here. Ramadan Mubarak. A special welcome to those of you who are new to Cedar Lane. If you are joining us for the first time today or still feel new, please add your name in the chat so that we can give you a warm virtual Cedar Lane welcome. And thank you for taking the time to take a risk to worship with us this morning. We're pretty wonderful people, so I'm glad that you're here with us. You're invited to complete the newcomer form that will be linked in the chat. And if you've been attending for a while and you're interested in being the new member, please reach out to me at abel@cedarlane.org. And on our weekly newsletter is a great way to stay connected about all the happenings at Cedar Lane. You can sign up through the link on our website's homepage, www.cedarlane.org. Our pastoral visitors are an extension of our ministry team. Reverend Abhi, I really love our pastoral visitors. How about you?
I do too, Reverend Ali, and they do amazing ministry, and we're so grateful that they are part of our ministry team and support the work of caring and supporting our congregation and those who are seeking some pastoral connection. And so who's our pastoral visitor online today, Reverend Ali?
I think we have Joanne Jersey today. Joanne Jersey is our pastoral visitor today. She's available to support you online. Thank you, Joanne. And if you need Joanne Jersey, you can just email us at pastoralcare@cedarlane.org and Joanne will reach out to you. So thank you so much for all that you all do, pastoral visitors.
Indeed. And Reverend Ali, we should lift up the blessing that we have today. Our special guest, Fariduddin, Fred Johnson, is joining us again for worship this morning. We are so blessed to have Fred be a part of the service and experience his spiritual presence and his music and his wisdom. What a gift. Thank you, Brother Fred, for taking time to be with us and to mark Ramadan as a community.
I agree with you. I'm just meeting Fred, and I have just been completely just touched by just the little bit of time we spent together. So I'm really excited that you all are here today, and the people who will hear this after today, that you're going to be able to spend some time with Fred, because it is time well spent. Just thank you so much, Fred, for agreeing to be with us and for sharing all of your knowledge and your care with us today. And as we gather for worship, we should also acknowledge that Cedar Lane UU congregation is situated on the ancestral lands of the Nacotchtank people. They're part of the Piscataway group of tribes, and on the land in which enslaved African people and their descendants labored and lived without choice or reward. We honor with gratitude the land and the people who have protected it through the generations.
And we gather in gratitude for all who have gone before us, whose love, service, labor, and sacrifice help create and sustain the mission and ministry of this, our religious community.
In the spirit we gather.
In this spirit we worship.
Let us greet our neighbors in the chat.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful. O mankind, we created you from a single pair of a male and a female, and made you into nations and tribes, that ye may know each other, not that ye may despise each other. Verily, the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is he who is the most righteous of you. And Allah has full knowledge and is well acquainted with all things. O mankind, we created you from a single pair of a male and a female, and made you into nations and tribes, that ye may know each other, that ye may know each other, not that ye may despise each other. Verily, the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is he who is the most righteous of you. And Allah and God and Allah has full knowledge and is well acquainted with all things. Know ye, know despise ye, know ye. Amen. Ya Allah.
Come, whoever you are, come. Come again, even if you are godless and a worshiper of fire and idols.
Our home is the home, never losing hope. Come, even if you break your repentance vows 100 times. Come again.
Come, come, whoever you are. Come again. Even if you are godless and a worshiper of fire and idols, come, our home is the home of never losing hope. Come, even if you break your repentance vows 100 times, come again, come again, come.
Good morning. My name is Kimberly Clarkson, the worship associate for today's service. My pronouns are she, her. I'm lighting my chalice from Kensington, Maryland. In the chat, please share from where you are lighting your chalice. Let us share these words from the Sufi poet and mystic, Jalaluddin Rumi. Ramadan has started, but the Eid is with us. There came a lock, but the key is with us. Ramadan shut our mouths and opened our eyes, and now the light that the eyes behold is with us forever. We have purified our heart and soul by fasting, even though the body is still with us, even though there is suffering in fasting. The unseen treasure of the heart is with us. Ramadan came to serve the heart. As for the one who created the heart, the one is with us.
Ramadan has started, but the Eid is with us. There came a lock, but the key is with us. Ramadan shuts our mouths and opens our eyes. And now the light that the eyes beheld is with us forever. We have purified our hearts and soul by fasting, even though the body is still with us. Even though there is suffering in fasting, the unseen treasure of the heart is with us. Ramadan came to serve the heart. As for the one who created the heart, the one is with us.
Thank you, Fred, for that beautiful musical reflection of Rumi's poem. Reverend Ali, as always, we have a number of things to lift up this morning.
We surely do. I think we should just jump right into it. I think the thing that people really are hoping to know about, there are probably a few things, but number one, the construction updates. Asbestos removal is complete. Yay! We will be back in person and online next Sunday, April 23rd. Whew, we did it.
We did it, indeed. Can't wait to get back in the building next week and then prepare for worship so we can all be back in person.
Yes,
It'll be wonderful
yes.
to gather again. And we also want to share with you an update about our annual fund drive, the 2023 annual fund drive. We thank the over 191 Cedar Lane households who have pledged so far to support our vibrant religious community.
Yes, we especially want to send our gratitude to the more than 90 households who have increased their pledge commitments. That's amazing. With your pledges totaling over $612,000, we are more than 68% of up to more than 68% of our $900,000 goal.
That's right, Reverend Ali. It's really good and deeply, deeply grateful to all those who have made a commitment of financial support, as well as those that who have raised, and also new members who have made a pledge of financial commitment. But we need to hear from everyone to reach our goal. And so if you have not yet made your pledge, please make your pledge online today or send in the card you received in the mail. And the giving information, the pledging information is being linked in the chat, www.cedarlane.org/give.
Yeah, Reverend Abhi, it's really important. I actually just had a new member sign up. I think it was Thursday or Friday, and they made their pledge just as they signed up. And it was so exciting. And they did it because they really believe in the mission and vision of Cedar Lane. So I think that we're doing something right here. And if we can get people just signing up to make their pledges, I know that the people who've been here who believe in our mission and vision can get on in there and remember to click in and make your pledge. I know we can do it.
That's right, Reverend Ali. Together we make Cedar Lane happen.
Yes, we do. And speaking of that, our 2023 spring auction celebration is happening. And thank you for all who made donations, almost 200 items. And with almost 200 items ranging from dinners to homestays in Portugal, to jewelry, to role-playing games, to music and photography lessons, to beautiful handmade items, to a Dolly Parton tribute concert. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did. That's what we got. That's really exciting. Can't wait.
That is so awesome.
Yes, yes. And we also have a wonderful gift from Fred Johnson, who has offered to do a home concert at a spirit experience concert at someone's home. That's also going to be included in the list of items. So we're so excited to look toward our online bidding, which is going to begin April 30th and go on for a couple of weeks. You don't have to buy a ticket for the auction in order to participate in the online auction. So you can look forward to a catalog link that's going to go out to the entire community in an upcoming email. I'm really looking forward to all the items and bidding on some of them, Reverend Ali.
Yeah, we got to peruse that catalog and see what's jumping out to us. I mean, it seems like it's going to be some pretty interesting and cool stuff. And of course, we're excited about the in-person celebration and live auction on May 13th at UU Rockville. You know, that's the day before my birthday, right? Just saying. So
all right.
Really yes, that's so cool. And I hear there's going to be magic, right?
That's right. That's right. We're going to have a live magician who is supposed to be really good. He'll be there doing magic both for adults and children. And it's going to be a lot of fun and some wonderful food and community and fellowship. The point is to come together and deepen our connections and grow together as a community. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to being there.
People can make sure to bring your children. We're going to have free childcare, and you can reserve those free childcare tickets when you purchase your own tickets. So that is like, it's really exciting. There's no reason that you can't come. And I believe that there are even tickets that people are buying that may be donated. So there's really no reason for you not to come to the auction. That's pretty, really, really great. And speaking of another super wonderful, fun thing that's about to happen at Cedar Lane in our building, Women in Folk, Jamie Harris is headlining it. And then also in our hearts, our headliners in our hearts are Heidi and Rachel, our very own Heidi and Rachel, this Saturday coming, April 22nd at 7 p.m. at Cedar Lane.
That's right. I'm so excited to meet and welcome Jamie Harris, who is a well-known folk musician. She has cultivated a unique genre of country folk, and is just an outstanding musician. I was listening to some of her music and really looking forward to hearing her. And I am especially looking forward to hearing our own Rachel Reed and Heidi Hill, who will be, as you said, Reverend Ali, headlining in our hearts. Right. And it's going to be a wonderful concert. We'll be in the chapel, so it'll be a more intimate concert, but we'll also be online. So for those who are joining us, you can catch it even if you are unable to be there in person. So it'll be a wonderful, wonderful event. This is going to be the last of our Women in Folk concert series, which has been a wonderful experience this year, in great part thanks to a very generous grant that we received. So we're looking forward to this event.
Yeah, it has been really good. I've caught it online, and I really wish I could be here to see this last one in person, but I'm going to see it online. I won't be in the state, but you guys have got to go. And in the chapel, that is going to be so beautiful and intimate. Oh my gosh, this is going to be exciting. Hey, don't forget to sign up for volunteering with Rebuilding Together Montgomery County. This is really an important event that's coming up.
It is an opportunity for us to come together and serve together. And this year on Saturday, April 29th, we'll be working on a light project this year, doing some landscaping work for Rockland House, a 5-person women's shelter run by Community Reach of Montgomery County. And it's going to be a real opportunity for us to come together again. Last year, we had a great crew of over 50 Cedar Laners who worked on a house together. And this year, we get to do some yard work.
Hey, and it's a great way to give back to our community and our youth ages 14 and older. I know that you all have some SSL hours that you're supposed to be earning, and those things creep up on you pretty quickly. This is a pretty easy way to get out, get your hands in some dirt, be with some other Cedar Laners, some other Cedar Laner youth, and get some of those SSL hours in. So it's a win-win for everyone.
That's right. You know all about SSL hours, Reverend.
I do. I'm always trying to get a certain person. Yeah. You know, there's a certain person in my house that needs some SSL hours. We won't mention any names, though.
That's right. That's right.
But now we move into a space of naming and sharing the joys and sorrows of this community and beyond. And this is a special part of the service for me. So this is the part of the service where we hold our community. So let us center ourselves and enter into this moment, calling upon all the sources of love that are within us and among us and around us. We lift up those in our community who are living through significant passages, the small and extraordinary milestones of life. We pause to be present to our spiritual companions and to the concerns of our own hearts. We hold in our hearts those who are recovering from surgery, who live with grief and chronic pain, with illnesses seen and unseen, with mental health challenges and addictions, with active COVID-19 diagnoses, exposures, and experiences, and those who care for family members in ill health within our Cedar Lane community and without. And right now in our Cedar Lane community, we want to say congratulations to longtime members Ralph and Janice Krause, who celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary on April 13th and Janice's 90th birthday on April 2nd. Wow, that's a lot of celebrating. Congratulations. What a wonderful, wonderful April you are having. And may you continue to have a wonderful rest of your year. And we mourn the passing of Sarah Sulzbach on April 10th after an extended illness. We hold in our hearts Sarah's husband, David Johnson, and their daughters, Ingrid and Siri, as they navigate this time of grief. And our caring extends beyond Cedar Lane to those whose lives are lost and those whose lives are impacted by war and violence and calamities in our nation and in our world. Our hearts are with the people of Louisville, Kentucky, who are mourning the killing of 5 people in yet another mass shooting at a community bank this week. May these friends of ours, our companions in the world, and all the joys and sorrows we hold in our hearts be held in the embrace of silence. And as we enter the silence together, you're invited to rise in body or in spirit and speak the names of the loved ones that you're holding in remembrance and share their names in the chat.
Of Ramadan, quickened within each of us is a call to remember our Creator, embrace creation. Remember that sacrifice awakens our humanity. Remember dhikrullah. Ya Allah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. Time to seek forgiveness, a time to know that divine possibility is cultivated deep within the stillness of our inner garden as we speak. Astaghfirullah, 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 knowing that our Creator is a forgiving God. Ya Allah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. Remember, and embrace the oneness of love. Yahoo,
Every Sunday, we give and receive an offering to support and sustain the mission and ministry of our congregation and a community organization in alignment with our mission. The offering is a symbolic and real expression of gratitude for the blessing of abundance in our lives and a visible expression of sharing our gifts. The offering says that the act of giving is as essential to our spiritual well-being as anything else we do here on Sunday mornings. Today, we share our offering with Action in Montgomery. AIM is a broad-based community power organization rooted in Montgomery County's neighborhoods and congregations. Since 2000, AIM has built citizen power to effect change by developing leaders in congregations, public schools, and neighborhood associations to act together on issues that matter to their communities. AIM is dedicated to making our county and state a better place to live and thrive. On March 12th, 22 Cedar Laners joined over 650 people at the AIM Action at People's Community Baptist Church in Silver Spring. The agenda included affordable housing, early childhood care, access to affordable dental care, stronger tenant protections, addressing vandalism and theft in neighborhoods, safe youth spaces, and exposing how climate impacts low-income housing. Leaders shared compelling stories about why these issues were important, proposed specific solutions, and asked our elected officials for commitments to address these issues. The action on March 12th was preceded by small group meetings with the county executive and 11 county council members. In response, elected officials shared a resounding commitment that they will work with AIM to move forward on each of these issues. It is an honor for Cedar Lane to be a part of the change in Montgomery County. I invite you to support the important work of AIM electronically or by mailing a check to Cedar Lane. However you choose to give, and whatever you choose to give, we are grateful for your generosity and support. Our offering will now be gratefully given and received.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. By the time verily mankind is in loss, except such as have faith and do righteous deeds and join together in the mutual enjoining of truth and of patience and constancy. By the time verily mankind is in lost, except such as have faith and do righteous deeds and join together in the mutual enjoining of truth and of patience and constancy. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Abdul Tamim. My pronouns are E.M., a member of Cedarland, and I'm honored to share a brief reflection about Ramadan. Ramadan is the holiest month in Islamic calendar observed by millions of Muslims around the world. It's a time of self-reflection, spiritual growth, peace, and solidarity. Also, it's a powerful symbol of devotion and dedication of followers to their beliefs. In this short reflection, I will explore connections between Ramadan, the Holy Quran, and spiritual growth and solidarity. One purpose of Ramadan is celebrate the revealing of the Quran and Muslims seeking guidance from the Holy Book and live according to it. Hence, fasting and Ramadan are mentioned in Quran, which teach restraint, forbearance, and ability to control sophisticated desire, as well as spending time in prayer and meditation. Fasting is a noble act of Allah loves. Therefore, He say in Quran, Surah 16, verses 128, Allah is with those who restrain themselves. And Ramadan will be the best month to practice restraint and forbearance. Ramadan is deemed a month of spiritual growth. Ramadan is a journey of growing faith to know more about God, and He become the persons that God created us to be. Discussing spiritual growth is an important concept, not just about Muslim and Ramadan or fasting. It's a journey for most believers in different religions. Many sacred texts say that growing spiritually is more important, rewarding challenge that leads to grow in every other area of our lives. Spiritual growth is necessary for individuals, regardless of their religions and beliefs. Spiritual growth is a door to spiritual maturity, which should be a priority for a person. It's essential in our life for how we serve God, interact with other people, and care for our families and loved ones. Muslims believe that Ramadans make all these steps easier to practice. The month of Ramadan also considered the month of solidarity among Muslims. It's helped us to create more value through mutual collaboration between individuals, which makes it possible to overcome the most horrific failure and tragedies. This also applied to help relatives and friends and colleagues who find themselves in a difficult situation. It's time to practice these habits and encourage attitudes to solidarity in the younger generation, since solidarity can be seen as a foundation of many other human values. In a unique way, Ramadan helped us build valuable friendship in a family and community based on virtues such as kindness, support, respect, generosity, and tolerance. Thank you for your attention, and Ramadan Mubarak. May Allah bless you and your family with all the happiness in the world and hereafter.
Thank you, Abdul, for your reflection on Ramadan. It was really good, and it really sets us up to have a further conversation and reflection from Abhi and Fred about Ramadan. I took from your reflection that Ramadan is a time for a self-reflection, a time for spiritual growth and peace and solidarity. And I think that in what I've seen throughout my lifetime and my study not of Ramadan, that seems really dead on about what Ramadan is about. I think that often people confuse the idea of Ramadan with lots of misconceptions, and I wanted to talk to you two, Reverend Abhi and Fred, about how you see Ramadan reflected in your life over your years of practice. How has Ramadan changed how you view your life, your spiritual growth, and have you changed in your practice over the years of Ramadan?
That's a really, really important question, and one that I could probably talk about for 3 days, but we don't have that kind of time. I think the biggest thing is just that, over the years, it's been really interesting to see how the practice of fasting or the month of Ramadan has become more of a conscious conversation globally, a practice that has been acknowledged. I like to believe that along with all of the faith traditions, that there are many, many uh, threads in the tapestry of faithfulness and practice. We here in Florida, here in St. Petersburg, have a big Eid feast celebration, where folk from many faith traditions come to learn about and to celebrate and acknowledge. And so I think that I think one of the most heart-centering things for me is to recognize that the month of Ramadan shifts into having your journey towards commitment to faithfulness, commitment to right action. It becomes a center point. The rest of the year, the traditions of 5 times a day prayer and conversations about faith, but the central focus for members of the Muslim community and other members of communities like Reverend Abhi who acknowledges and practices Ramadan, because we recognize and understand the importance of fasting. I also recognize that it seems like this month, more than ever before, kind of writ large, there's been a lot of conversation about the cleansing elements of fasting and how fasting is important for everybody. And so I like that fasting for everybody concept, and the fact that out of many of the traditions comes this tradition of cleansing, reflection, so that the ceremony, the practice of fasting is not just for the Muslim community. If anything, it helps to enliven our collective understanding of the importance of denying the body nourishment for a minute, so that there can be a cleansing and a detoxing. So it yes is inclusively a spiritual experience, but it feels like there are so few things that we talk about these days that ignite our understanding of the commonality of our humanity. So I think in some small way, to have a collective conversation and an acknowledgement of the importance of fasting, and that it's something that many of us do. Oftentimes we tend to perceive that life is here and religion is over here. What the month of Ramadan does is it brings them into a unity and a oneness. It eliminates the concept of duality and brings in a sense of unity and oneness. And to the degree that collectively we can share that, both the Muslim community and the greater community of the children of the kingdom of our Creator. For me, I always reflect upon that. This is not just something that I'm doing, but how is what I'm doing aligning with, and in some ways affecting, a conversation about the importance of the fast.
Wow, that's so beautiful, Fred. I can just listen to you all day. Yes, you just raised the point about how fasting is something that is not just unique to Islam, but it is something that's part of other religious traditions. And this season, this time that we are in, comes every 33 years, when various religious observances across faith traditions come together at the same time. So we just celebrated Easter, and then this is also, we're going through Passover, and this is the month of Ramadan in the Abrahamic traditions. And in the Hindu tradition, we just celebrated a couple of major festivals, a celebration of Sri Ramanavami, which is a celebration of Lord Rama's birthday. And also we had Holi a few weeks ago, the Hindu festival of spring. And then in the Jain and Buddhist traditions, there are occurrences during this time, especially in Buddhism, as they prepare for Vesak, the Buddha's birthday. And also there is, in the Sikh tradition, this past weekend was celebrated within the Sikh tradition, the celebration of Baisakhi. So it's just incredible how the spiritual traditions really have opened up a deepening conversation about spiritual growth, and something which is really emphasized in Islam, because fasting during the holy month of Ramadan is one of the core beliefs and practices of Islam. And while fasting is something that all major faith traditions promote and really seek to inculcate, it is a central practice in Islam. And there is an element of fasting that has particularly grabbed me, as I have been fasting for some years as a non-Muslim. I do fasting more in solidarity with my Muslim siblings and neighbors, and have really gotten into it. It has been a deepening practice for me that I actually look forward to fasting. And there are three aspects of fasting that my friend Imam Tariq El-Ghavari once explained to me. He talks about the outer fast, the inner fast, and the heart-centered fast. And the outer fast is the physical act of fasting. And he explained to me that, yeah, when you do the outer fast, the body feels weaker, and it also thereby weakens our ego. It strips us of our pride. It invites us into a more humble place, revealing our personal limitations. And a lack of ego leads to a stronger spiritual connection and reestablishes self-control, rather than the senses controlling us and our giving into our senses, which then brings us to the inner fast, which encourages the believer to deepen one's spiritual practice during this time. You talked about that, about how this is an opportunity to deepen ourselves through prayer and meditation and reflection, and thereby cultivating restraint, the act of letting go, and practicing more mindfulness and compassion. And so fasting as a portal for spiritual awakening. A Muslim scholar, a Sufi scholar, A. Helwa, says, when we create space between our thoughts and who we actually are, we realize that we are not our thoughts. Which brings us to the third aspect, the heart-centered fast, which is about fasting from anger and greed, deepening our love for ourselves, for each other, and the world, seeking forgiveness. You lifted that aspect up in that beautiful piece you did, Remembrance, seeking and offering forgiveness and making more room for the divine possibility, making room for God, or as in our UU tradition, we call that being present to a life larger than our own. And this is an eye-opening experience, that heart-centered fasting, which is not about just the physical fasting. It is about letting go, releasing. I have a friend, Professor Omid Safi, who doesn't fast because he is diabetic. And he practices the inner fast and the heart-centered fast during this time. It is acknowledging the blessings of life.
Yes.
And being more mindful.
Reverend Abhi, Reverend Abhi, you brought something up for me. Knowing that fasting is one of the 5 pillars of the faith. Fred, I wanted to talk to you more about fasting, because you said something to me earlier about the way that you experience fasting that I wanted you to talk about. Can you say more about how you experience fasting?
For me, it really expands the journey of surrender. The mind, and I love what you just said, Reverend Abhi, about that reflection. The mind is an interesting thing. The inner conversations, or what we talk about, the echoes in the inner chamber. Most people perceive the concept of surrender as kind of like a struggle, and you give up. And so when I listen to my mind, is in conversation and frequency and vibration around the whole concept of, this is difficult, this is hard, can I? But the deepest surrender is not the can I, it moves into a place of the I am. Right? We move from, a mental conversation about doing, and we move into the sacred space of being, right? We move from, can I achieve this, to the I am. So I choose to be this vessel for acknowledgement, light, love, and full, not necessarily giving up, but giving over, opening up, surrendering to. So I move away from what it is I need to do, and the fast, Ramadan, allows us to really move into a space of being. One of the most powerful remembrances or the zikrs for me, I had been saying it for probably 30 or 40 years, but had the opportunity to spend a brief period of time before his transition with Sidi Sheikh Muhammad Al Jamal, who was the Imam and really the spiritual teacher at Al Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. And this term La ilaha illallah, which has been generally translated is that there is no God but Allah. But Sidi Sheikh Muhammad Al Jamal says, La ilaha illallah is translated to mean there is only God. There is only creation. So to move from the place of doing into the place of being and recognizing the fullness and the wonder of La ilaha illallah, there is only our creator, there is only God in all, in everything, is really the step from the perceived struggle of doing fast into the glory of being in a surrender that enables us to bring together the world, the inner world and the outer world, the heart and the head, the philosophy, the longest distance traveled during the fast is the distance between the head and the heart. And Ramadan affords us the opportunity to make that march and to know it in a more real sense. And then the hope and desire is that for the rest of the year, we are on that journey and continue on that journey.
I want to say that as someone who also has a mental health background, I really appreciate that you all have addressed the other parts of the fast. I think that I've always struggled with how do people who have disordered eating fast, and to address the inner fast and the heart-centered fast opens up the possibility for fasting in a way that people who have an issue with disordered eating can see fasting as an attainable solution to also connect to a spiritual way of fasting that doesn't trigger them into fasting and to disordered eating. So I really just wanted to lift that up. If anyone is hearing this message and may be connecting and wanting to connect to this spiritual fasting, but have this issue with disordered eating. So I really appreciate that you all are holding out the spiritual parts of this and other ways to fast when we have medical issues or psychological issues that don't allow us to have the outer fast, that we have this inner fast and we have this heart-centered fast. And I just wanted to give you all both just like a minute left. If we had a minute more to say about Ramadan, which is, I mean, there could be 100,000 minutes and not enough time. But in your last minutes, what would you say? What do you have to say to us about Ramadan?
Yes, first and foremost, that there's no compulsion in the journey of fasting. You're called to do it if you feel that you're physically able. There's no guilt in the journey. I think that was very clearly prescribed by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is a journey towards an invite to participate in an enrichment and a growth. It's not a ritual of a compensatory ritual that you're punished for if you don't do it. We're called to do it in the ways that we know to. If we're not able to do it during the month of Ramadan, do it at another time. And most importantly, our creator who encompasses that servicing a life larger than our own creation loves us, and creation wants to give us that which will enrich us. in divine time. And just to be able to have these unified conversations about the, how gentle the human journey is. Fasting is one way for us to be in celebration and remember that how fragile we are.
Mm, that's so beautiful. As I have fasted over the years, I've come to recognize that not eating is actually the easy part.
Yeah.
And it's the creating space for the inner fast to actually cultivate over a period of time the opportunity to let go of all those things that are limiting me, that are life negating, that turn me away from that life that is larger than our own, and actually sitting with those and struggling with those, learning to listen, to be attentive, to be more present to this one life that we have been given as a gift, to actually be engaged in that life in service of something bigger than my own ego or my own agenda or my own whatever. To me, that is a privilege that I have come to really appreciate, that the holy month of Ramadan accords me. And the more challenging part that I find is the week after Ramadan, when I am challenged with the spiritual question, now, how are you going to carry this into all the other months beyond this holy month, and to continue this practice? So to not just approach it as a seasonal practice, but to make that a way of being. And to me, that's such a beautiful way to call us in to be engaged in life, to be engaged with love and to share in that love, not just toward ourselves, but to bring and make that love be a manifested reality in all of our lives.
Yes.
Our vision says that Cedar Lane is a community where love works.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ramadan is a spiritual practice that actually enjoins us to make love work.
Mm.
And to me, it's not something that is only prescribed for Muslims, that this is a learning that we can take and receive and seek to practice it with intentionality and commitment. And that's what I hold and cherish and really value during Ramadan.
I love that. Thank you both so much for sharing so much of your spiritual practices with us and with me, and giving me so much to ponder in this season. Wow. And I guess may it be so. May it be so. May we
Ameen.
find a way. Right. Amen. Nashe.
Abhi.
utterance. Send its echo through the caverns of our inner place, deep within us. Quicken our remembrance of the one breath from which we suckle. Your breath, the one breath, please beckon us to lift our voices and lean our hearts towards thee. They're all the oneness, please love us into oneness. Mingle our tears with the dewdrops of the love dawn as you cradle us and rock our spirits into a new day, illumined by the inner light of deepening, awakening us to know that there is only the one oneness. Deepen us deeply into Please deepen us into
We are grateful for everyone who creates this community and for each and every one of you. Thank you to our ministry and worship team, our music ministry, and to our AV team, Barb,
Indeed.
Michael. Who else, Abhi?
Ariel and Fred's friend, Tim Conwell, who prepared all those beautiful videos.
Wow.
And for our brother Fred,
Mhm.
for his gift of presence, his music, his wisdom, in just coming together to co-create worship. It's such a blessing, Reverend Ali.
It really is. And for our office staff and our membership staff and our greeters and pastoral volunteers, thank you so much. Our faith formation staff, and volunteers for engaging with and caring for our community.
And then Kathy Napper, who created that beautiful flower arrangement. Thank you, Kathy, for your ministry.
Yeah, it really was pretty. And friends, fans, and members of Cedar Lane, please join with your favorite beverage for our engaging virtual coffee connection time after service. It's facilitated by me and lay leaders, and it's a really good time. It's different than it's been, and we have gotten a few people that are coming back again and again and really enjoying the connection that happens there. There's going to be music and conversation, and the URL for the virtual coffee connection will be in the YouTube chat.
It's a
So,
beautiful, beautiful time, and I love the way you have created this container for us to gather after service, Reverend Ali, in which we not only share a little bit about ourselves, and especially welcome our friends and guests who join us every Sunday now, and also to engage more deeply with a centering question. And I've just loved the way these conversations have unfolded and how people are willing to take that risk of going deeper together, even if we're just connecting on Zoom, and such richness in what people bring and share. So I hope those of you who are watching will join us. I'll be there, and maybe Brother Farid, if you have some time, you may be able to join us as well. Be wonderful. Look forward to it.
And next Sunday, we're going to have Earth Day with Reverend Dana Edwards and our own Nate Holman. So
Indeed, it's going to be an awesome service, focusing on the deeper meanings and the commitments that Earth Day calls us into. And Nate Holtman has provided great leadership with our state, working with the governor's office around climate justice, and also he worked with Secretary Kerry recently, and was involved with the White House Commission on Climate Justice. So we're going to be again treated to a wonderful service and a reflection that I'm looking forward to. And as we shared earlier, we'll be back in person, folks, at Cedar Lane in our chapel. So it'll be wonderful to be together again. And so now, as we bring our time to a close, I invite us to center ourselves, bringing our mind, body, and spirit more fully into this space that connects us across devices, across space, across computers and tablets, and be in communion with that life that is larger than our own, that is known by many names. As we receive these words from Dr. Najiba Saeed, let us go through this holy month with open hearts.
Let us not sleep when our neighbor is hungry.
Let us not exert anger to hurt one another.
Let us use our tongue to uplift others, not curse them.
Let us join in daily reflection and forgiveness as our bond of care for each other.
In this holy season of reflection and repentance, sacrifice and celebration, let us create the spiritual and emotional space our lives so desperately need.
Let us make our own fast, make our own emptying, so the spirit of life can enter into our lives.
Let us befriend ourselves with a gentle and holy curiosity.
Let us make space within and among ourselves to open up to our lives, to reflect, to listen, to connect, and to act in service of a life larger than our own.
Amen. Amen. Om Shanti. Shalom. Aho. Ashe. Ramadan Mubarak.
too late. Never too late. Never too late. Never too late. The great poet Baba Farid laments, when my hair was all black, I did not worship him. Now that it is all gray, how should I worship him? Love the Lord, it's never late. He'll turn your gray into black. Now, how should I worship him? Just love the Lord, it's never late. He'll turn your gray into black. He'll turn the night into light. Never too late. Never too late. Never too late to awaken to the oneness. Never, never, never too late. It's never, never, never too late to universally embrace the harmony of creation. It's never, never too late. It's never, never too late. Don't say, well, I better start now. It's far too far beyond being able to embrace. No, 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 no. It's never too late. Embrace the light. Embrace the oneness. Embrace the love. Embrace the forgiveness. It's never too late. It's never late. It's right on time now. It's never too late.